In September 1886, a Frenchman named Gustave Eiffel, who had Italian roots, received an honorary American citizenship for his work as a contractor in constructing the Statue of Liberty. This statue stands tall as a symbol of both New York and the United States. Gustave Eiffel, after this honor, shared a meal with his eldest daughter, Claire Eiffel. Soon after, news reached Eiffel about a construction exhibition planned by the French government in 1989, aimed at boosting the country's economy. Eiffel saw an opportunity to fulfill his dream of building a subway system. To proceed with his plans, Eiffel required approval from the Minister of Trade. He enlisted the help of his college friend turned journalist Antoine de Ristac to arrange a meeting with the minister. Meanwhile, Eiffel, a widower, juggled the responsibilities of caring for his 4 children. Fortunately, his eldest daughter, Claire, offered invaluable assistance in managing the household and looking after her siblings. Amidst these tasks, Maurice Koechlin, one of Eiffel's staff, suggested the idea of constructing a 200-meter tower. However, Eiffel remained steadfast in his ambition to build a subway or metro system. The meeting between Eiffel and the Minister of Trade was a big deal. The minister praised Eiffel for his work on an iron bridge in Cambodia, which is known as the Indochina region today. During the meeting, Antoine, the minister, introduced Eiffel to his wife, Adrienne Bourges. When Eiffel and Adrienne met, they seemed to recognize each other, as if they had some shared memories. Eiffel couldn't take his eyes off Adrienne. Then the negotiations started. The French government wanted a symbol like the Statue of Liberty in America. They didn't want to use granite because it was too plain. Unexpectedly, Eiffel, who had plans to build a subway, suggested building a 300-meter tower with a steel frame instead. He said the tower would be for everyone, from royalty to workers, and it would be located on the outskirts of Paris. The next morning, Eiffel's staff was surprised to find him already in the office, surrounded by papers and sketches. He said he wanted to propose something unique, similar to Coastline's design, but taller at 300 meters and with a new twist. Later, when Eiffel visited the Minister of Trade again, he saw Adrienne once more. Afraid of being noticed, Eiffel decided to leave. But on his way out, he met Antoine, who invited him to his house. Antoine revealed that Adrienne admired Eiffel greatly. At Antoine's house, Eiffel was amazed by the photos and belongings of Adrienne. He even ventured into her room without permission, reminiscing about a past incident when he saved a worker's life while building a bridge in Bordeaux. Adrienne's admiration seemed to stem from this heroic act and Eiffel's engineering brilliance. During their lunch together, Eiffel made a bold move by asking Adrienne's father, who was a developer, for additional funds to improve worker safety. Adrienne was drawn to Eiffel, both for his heroic deeds and his intellect. Later, Eiffel attended Adrienne's birthday party and gave her a book about building iron and steel bridges, a testament to his passion for engineering. Although Adrienne initially seemed hesitant, she eventually warmed up to the gift. As the evening progressed, Eiffel found himself on the verge of kissing Adrienne, only to be rejected. So Eiffel and Adrienne had a bit of a falling out. One day, as Eiffel was heading home from work, he stumbled upon Adrienne waiting for him. They had a heart-to-heart about their feelings, but Eiffel thought Adrienne was just messing with him. Adrienne got upset and threw herself into the river. In a panic, Eiffel jumped in to rescue her. She was freezing cold, so he took her to her dad's workshop and even built a fire to warm her up. They ended up embracing, and things got intimate that night as they made love. Later, when Eiffel was reminiscing about his time with Adrienne, he was caught by Antoine, which made him realize he needed to leave and go home. At work, Eiffel got really excited about building the tower. He completely redesigned it to make it more artistic, changing the 4 legs to 2 big ones, shaped like the letter A. Finally, his design was finished. Eiffel had Antoine by his side as he faced the State Council to present the tower's design and ask for approval and funding. At first, the council was worried about the tower's safety, especially because it was going to be built on unstable soil prone to flooding. But Eiffel had answers ready. He reassured them that the tower would be safe and argued that it could attract tourists and bring in money for France. He also said the tower would be a symbol of equality, as it was going to be on the outskirts of Paris where everyone could enjoy it. Long story short, finally, the State Council approved the tower project to be built by Eiffel. Next, the government held a competition on the design of the tower, to be built as a symbol of the state. The winner in the competition was the tower designed by Eiffel. After that, the construction of the tower began. Eiffel asked about 300 workers to be involved in the project. Sometime after that, Eiffel was invited to attend a party at the minister's house. There, Adrienne and Antoine were also present. Eiffel was the most famous person at that time because he had won the tower design competition. She was given the honor to dance. Eiffel invites Adrienne to dance. dance. At first, Adrienne seemed awkward because her husband was there. While dancing, Eiffel took Adrienne to a hotel on the outskirts of Paris. But Adrienne immediately refused Eiffel's invitation and ended their dance. Some time went by, and they kept building the tower, but it wasn't easy. They ran into a lot of problems. First, there were technical issues. Then some people who lived nearby didn't like the idea. They were scared the tower might fall down and hurt them. Even the Vatican, a big church, wasn't happy because the tower was going to be taller than their church. Artists didn't like it either, or they said bad things about the tower. The workers were worried too. They wanted more money because building the tower was risky. The boss, Eiffel, was supposed to tell people good things about the tower, but he didn't do a good job, and people got mad at him. They even threw rotten tomatoes at him. It was a tough time for everyone involved in building the tower. Meanwhile, Antoine showed Adrienne a story from the newspaper. It was about a decision not to build a tower, especially one with a funny drawing of the devil on top. Later, in her room, Adrienne discovered a similar drawing of the devil. Surprisingly, it was Antoine who had created the drawing in the newspaper. Around the same time, Eiffel met with Antoine to talk about his troubles. Eiffel was facing many problems and needed support until the first level of construction was complete. He also needed help from the media to calm down angry citizens. However, Antoine just smiled and didn't address Eiffel's concerns. Then, when Eiffel needed help starting his car, Antoine left him alone by the side of the road. Eiffel's troubles continued when he revisited his project site. He found that the workers had gone on strike and left the place deserted. This brought back memories of a similar situation in Bordeaux. Once, when he completed building a bridge, he wanted to invite the Boris family, his contractors, to celebrate. But Mr. Boris rudely turned him away, saying Adrienne had left because Eiffel didn't love her anymore. This shocked Eiffel, who noticed a change in his boss's behavior. Desperate to find Adrienne, Eiffel went to her house, but Mr. Boris attacked him. Undeterred, Eiffel waited outside the house hoping to see Adrienne. However, she never showed up. This disappointment was even more painful because Adrienne was now with someone else. Adrienne knew her husband's ways, and he had discovered her relationship with Eiffel. So she arranged to meet Eiffel at the hotel he'd mentioned. When Eiffel arrived, he confessed to Adrienne that he was 20 years late. Adrienne then shared her past with him. She revealed how she once sought her parents' approval to marry Eiffel, but they refused because he wasn't from a noble family. Determined, Adrienne told her parents she was carrying Eiffel's child. This angered them, leading to a confrontation where Adrienne attempted to escape, but was injured in the process, resulting in a miscarriage. Eiffel, hearing this tragic tale and seeing Adrienne's wound, was overcome with sorrow, realizing Adrienne hadn't abandoned him but had suffered immensely. Meanwhile, Eiffel faced challenges with the State Council's decision to halt funding for his tower project. Undeterred, he resolved to continue construction despite accruing debts. He rallied the striking workers, assuring them of the tower's safety and promising wage increases upon completing its first level. With Adrienne's support, work resumed, albeit under difficult conditions without proper equipment like cranes. Despite setbacks, Eiffel's determination remained unshaken. He pressed on, inspiring his team with visions of the tower as a symbol of collective pride. Adrienne frequently visited the construction site, offering encouragement to Eiffel and the workers. Despite lacking resources, the workers persevered, inching closer to completing the tower's first level. Their dedication and Eiffel's unwavering resolve demonstrated the power of perseverance and shared purpose in overcoming adversity. Through their trials and tribulations, Adrienne and Eiffel's bond grew stronger, fueled by their shared dreams and struggles. Eiffel and his workers were happy. They celebrated completing the tower. Eiffel took Adrienne up to the first level of the tower. They looked at Paris from above. Adrienne said she wanted to leave her husband and start a new life with Eiffel. That night, Adrienne told her husband everything, but he didn't agree to a divorce. He threatened Adrienne not to run away with Eiffel, or he would ruin Eiffel's project. Adrienne was scared. She didn't want Eiffel's dream to fail because of her. Eiffel was excited. He didn't know Adrienne's problems. He told his daughter they would soon have a new mother, but Adrienne didn't come. When she did, she was with Antoine, her husband. Antoine warned Eiffel not to take Adrienne away. He said he married Adrienne when she was in a bad situation. He wouldn't let her go easily. Antoine wanted to move to another city to start fresh. Eiffel couldn't argue. He had to let Adrienne go, even though it hurt. He kept building the tower, feeling sad. Finally, on March 31st, 1889, the French government inaugurated the Eiffel Tower. Everyone came to see it. Adrienne was there too, but she disappeared again. The tower is dedicated to her with the initials A, making it look like the letter A. Despite the sadness, Eiffel finished the tower. It stood tall and proud. Each part of it told a story, including the one about Adrienne. It became a symbol of love and perseverance. If you enjoyed this story, consider subscribing to our channel for more fascinating tales and updates.